Interpretation Todorova. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you know, I do have a tradition to celebrate Christmas with you, or to make at least one video where I share moments with you or my Christmas with you. And today I want to create or share a little tradition with you. So if you want to do it with me, you're welcome to stay. That would be a setting goals for the new year. I always like to have a day for myself for at least a couple of hours. Now it's a half day here to myself, just to recap myself, think about like my goals, dreams, and ambitions, and think about what kind of things I want to achieve for the next year. What's my goals? And usually I have a tradition that I would share with you. I don't know if you guys know, but I was in this place called ashram for several months, altogether about a year, where I was in the role of a karma yogi, which means, hey, Merry Christmas, ST, where I learned how to. I was volunteering in this camp, and I was living in this meditation, yoga teacher, spiritual mindset. And I met, there is different people that go to those centers, and I met someone, I believe they were from Tibet, and we were talking about different meditational practices and spirituality. And there is this type of practice in this culture to write praise in a special notebook. It's called Muna or something like that in Sanskrit, which would mean that you would write a small mantra, which means a short prayer, for example, like Om, on a piece of paper, on a notebook. And all those prayers and written notes with blessings and praise and stuff like that, the monks would have this tradition to take them on a donkeys and bring them to these ancient caves. This is in Himalaya. And I talked to someone that he was into brahmacharya, which means no sexual activity, and into meditation. And then for some reason, although he was white, he was chosen to go to one of those trips where you would go with a donkey carrying all those praise, and you're gonna leave them in a cave. And for some reason, in these ancient cultures, and if you look back into the studies of Shambhala, if you don't know what Shambhala, you can read about it. They all have this practice, very spiritual practices with yourself. All those practices do not include a priest. They do have priests that they can pray and cure your soul if you're sick. But those ancient practices, in India as well, they do have it. If you watch a movie Samsara, and if you read Hermann Hesse Siddhartha, you could see part of those practices in the movies, but you have to read a lot and make the research. The practice of this spiritual thing or spiritual experiencing yourself is to hold on within yourself. And one of those practices is writing down. And when I say writing down, I don't mean writing down your name, but writing down your dreams, goals, and ambitions, your weak part, your strong part, and where you want to grow. The reason why they give something sanctuary or saint into writing down your dreams is because you actually, when you sit down to write, you actually give that time to yourself to vocalize your dream and to express them and to even believe that it's possible. Sometimes people do have this, which I am afraid to even vocalize. I'm afraid to be judged because I'm afraid that I want too much, or I want unrealistic dreams or unrealistic things. And so I started practicing this practice of writing, not to anyone, but to myself. And I have this packet. This packet is from 2 years ago, writing things that are important for me. And this is quite a lot of pages, I gotta tell you. I think it's about 6, 7 pages. Things that I wanted to grow and to achieve. And the first number one thing for me was work. I don't know if you guys do what you love, like I do. I love what I do, and so I'm very passionate about work, not as a mean to make money, but as a way of self-expression and success and self-growth. Work for me is not a punishment, as a lot of people experience work, because I work many jobs and I quit and I got myself fired many times until I find the job I like. Yes, indeed, some of the jobs that I was doing were very highly paid, but they were not jobs that were making me happy. And indeed, I did experience this punishment feeling when I was doing those jobs because they were not meant for me. And if you do experience this type of punishment while you're working, this means that you still have to search your gift. And as they say, your gift is what makes you achieve financial stability without suffering. Because when you're passionate about something, people around you can perceive that. When you're passionate about the simplest thing, making a cocktail, or you can be passionate about the most not dignifying work, even cleaning, and you could be the best in your field, and you could still inspire. You can inspire people by cleaning. I'm saying that because I was a cleaning lady while I was a student, and I still have some books and postcards and gratefulness from people that were staying in the hotel where I work and wanted to say thank you, which is beautiful. So I had like so many points on this list, as you could see, to achieve as work. This is 2 years ago. Right now, I have just one page compared to 2 years ago. I changed. I realized that I changed. And so, my dream as an interpreter and as a YouTube creator is to be able to express myself better, which include setting a boundary in your workplace. And my goal for this YouTube channel for the next year would be to create a set of videos how I set boundaries during a call when somebody is aggressive, arrogant, abusive, talking with me, inappropriate with me, how I do this in my job. So setting those boundaries, it starts with you. So I strictly relate my professional growth to my personal growth. And I don't know why, but I write these notes in several languages. It's just how my brain relates it. So Работа с собой in Russian is like working with myself and what kind of things I want to achieve as a person, where I want to grow in my way of expression, in my way of communication. I want to be able to speak better, to write better, um, and record better videos for you guys. Um, and then there is different goals that I set. A few years ago, one of those goals was to have 1,000 subscribers, and you guys here now, I can feel like we did this together. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this dream. I was able to record once a week, and And then I have a second YouTube channel called Tried Me. If you want to support me, you can click. It's more about psychology and self-growth and self-learning. I haven't followed this dream for the past year. So said that I wanted to share something about dreams, and about how I think we achieve dreams. I think for me, it's kind of hard to give up when I want something. I'm usually a person that if I want something, I would go for it. But I'm starting to realize that sometimes in life, and I would say particularly in my life, I met and I was encountering or surrounding myself with people who not quite appreciate me. And that's not only personal life, but that would be with companies that will take advantage of me in the workplace. And I will have difficulties to admit that to myself and to also face it and kind of change that. It's way more comfortable to be in denial of things and ignore them because it's more comfortable. Like denial of the truth is the most comforting experience that we humans may have. Even going to those centers for meditation, it's very, how to say, comforting to just suddenly shut your life and live this different parallel reality that it sounds like a dream. It's like you wake up and you're not responsible for anything. You just do meditation, yoga, chanting, and then you do some karma yoga and you barely have time alone. It's like it's a system that makes you run away from your own problems in a way. And I just want to share like some things that I had to let go of this year, or some things that I realized that in order to grow, we have to leave behind. And not accidentally I talk about friends or people that does not appreciate you and people that does not value you. If you hear this video, if you're gonna watch this video, I want you to think about people who are constantly in your life putting you down and not being excited about you and not being happy for you and not sharing happy moments with you and not willing to acknowledge that you're good at something, whatever this thing, if this can mean washing a pot or a cup or serving them a cup of wine. It could be something very simple. But if you're surrounded by these people that constantly complain and brag and tell you that there is something wrong with you, you can't grow. You can't grow because your brain, it's so drained and busy with that type of vibrations of nagginess, unhappiness. And subconsciously, when you have several of those peoples around you, to avoid this form of psychological pressure and abuse as a human, you tend to submit. In a way, psychologically, you're trying to please them. Sadly, I can say I'm a very strong person and I have seen things that I don't think a child should see at all. And I have done things that I don't think a child should do. And as adult coming out of this traumatic communist background, it took some time to realize that they were people around me that were dragging me down. People that did not want me to be successful, people that did not want me to be independent because it's not comfortable for them. I know this whole thing that I'm sharing right now would sound like a little bit, how to say, uncaring or maybe strange. But I am pretty sure that if you look around yourself, you can find those type of people that are not genuinely happy for you, that are not ready to celebrate your victories with you, that are not ready to acknowledge that you achieved something, that you are valuable, because you are valuable and you do have gifts that I don't have, and you do have magic inside that nobody else does, and your journey in life and your mission in life, if you want to believe, it's to discover this magic within you. And they say tap to your inner source. I don't feel like I'm yet there, but I feel like I'm in a good way to this source, because I am very content and grateful with where I'm in life. In fact, a few days ago, I was to this Christmas party, and some of the people were chatting, if you could go back in time to another age, would you do it? And I'm so grateful for who I am today and for all the growth and self-work that I did to be able to even record this video for you. That I was probably the only one on the table that said that I am very grateful and happy for where I am, and I don't want to go back. I am very content with my journey right now and with the direction my life is going and with the decisions that I'm taking, including my errors, including a very unpleasant errors. So I'm sharing this video because as I share with you, I also like to remind to myself how important is to leave behind a people who are not happy for you, people who are envious to you. And probably this year, my journey bring me to leave some of those people behind, some people that I wanted to be friends with, and I wanted to believe that they were my friends, or people that I wanted to keep in my life because I thought they care about me and they love me. And then my journey bring me to the fact that I had to face that those people are not my friends. And those people are taking advantage of my kindness and friendship and generosity. And I will tell you, the fear of being alone and the fear of not being understood and appreciated and loved and heard, it's really a very huge burden that we humans carry. The fear of changing and having to explain to people that you know for many years why was that necessary, and having to explain your journey, it's a bigger part of growing, is a bigger part of this step of self self love, even if you want a self accomplishment. And once you leave one person behind like that, and you look back and you have this period of silence, period of feeling like you're the most lonely person on earth, feeling like you have to compromise your values and your beliefs and your dreams for people that are not valuable because you're so lonely. And sometimes I have been feeling like I'm in a desert with no water for a very, very long time. This is a constant feeling here in USA because it's very difficult to find valuable people that can be authentic and truthful and honest. I believe that in order to be successful in life, you have to dare to dream. And when I say dare to dream, I also mean dare to leave these mediocre people behind and hang in the middle of the nowhere for some period of time, stay there and wait for better people, better opportunity, better connections. And eventually those connections will come. Eventually they come, but they don't just come along. They come when you get out of your comfort zone. And this is very difficult. I am a person that do a lot of things alone. But sometimes I still feel like I went to this event completely alone, not knowing anyone. And I felt that that was getting out of my comfort zone. And it was a very nice social event where indeed I met people that inspire me, people that make me feel like I have to grow more and work on myself and learn to be more open and more sharing and more vulnerable, maybe, I guess, because I have a hard time to open with people. So I just want to make this short and cut it here if it's possible. There is a power in writing your goals. There is a power in daring to dream. And there is a power in being able to admit that your dream changed and who you are changed and your goals changed. It's very difficult to change, but I think a change starts with the self authenticity and self love, if you want to. And self love starts with leaving back people who are not excited about your dreams, who don't want to believe in you. I like to say that I was thinking that I'm going to make this video and share with you how difficult it is to chase a dream and to be a dreamer and not stay married for the comfortable guy or not settle, as I choose not to do, for a dream guy, as they call it. And I wanted to show you that I did not receive any gifts this year. But I will disappoint you. I do receive gifts. Somebody surprised me for Christmas and give me 2 books. And I think there is nothing more beautiful than giving wisdom to people. And I do this. I would like to recommend you this book. I have read maybe 5 of his books, this one included, but I was very happy to receive it. It's like reminded me about me 15 years ago. And this is Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. He have a series of 4 of those little candy books. I love them. I would advise you to maybe give a gift like that to someone you love and care for. And the second part that I received, it's called Base Camp Denver, because I am a big hiker. and she gave me a hiking trail book, which I'm very happy to discover. Said that I have a gift that I choose to give to myself, and I say that because I think you as well should make gifts to yourself. Let me show you. This one is one of this is a hair soup. Oh, it smells so good, and it costs $15 for this bar soup, and you could see it's like a piece of art inside. That's a very cute gift, and you can lock it back in. Very interesting. Then I give myself a pair of nice shoes for work. And then I have a gift for one person, which I think I should also let go of my life, but I do have a gift for them, and probably that would be my last notice to them. But giving gifts is also beautiful. I like to say that I believe there is nothing better than giving a good time to someone. And when I say that, I don't mean intimacy, I mean time that you can laugh and travel and maybe see sunsets or sunrise or waterfall or play a game or anything, just sharing a moment with being a human to someone. Said that I really hope that you guys write your dreams as they do in ancient shamanic or shambolic or Hindu or different culture. There is something powerful about writing down your fears and your thoughts and your dreams. I believe it helps you discover yourself. And that was my video for you. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Bye bye.